Yo, what up? Welcome back. It is your boy O Doctor O and JJ Stone, aka I did it backwards. Say what's up to the people, Leah.
Hello.
You seem so excited, Leah. You always seem so excited.
That was just a little weird. I thought you were gonna restart it.
Man, no, I
We're
messed
like
I
3 seconds in, and
yeah,
here you are.
I
Just
messed up. It is what it is, but we're here for a reaction review video. We went and saw Knock at the Cabin in the Woods and Knock at the Cabin. Leah, did you like the movie?
I like the movie.
It was a good movie. Now you're young, so you've seen a couple of M Night Shyamalan movies, but his movies are either like great or they just end up being trash at the end, and they've got some weird concept going on.
Mhm.
This movie didn't have that. This movie was pretty much straightforward,
Yeah, it's
I
just
guess.
just how it was.
So when you watch the trailer and you get the trailer, and it is pretty much exactly
Exactly
how
how
it.
it portrays it.
Yeah. So let's just watch that real quick. Now, to be fair, in the beginning of this movie, when he's talking to her and she's by herself in the woods, I know she's 8, but stranger danger, you think?
Especially a big man, like a huge guy.
A mountain of a man just walks up out of the woods and is talking to you, and
Mm,
he is soft spoken. He is
really kind, but like as
kind and
soon as
gentle.
I see a really big guy walking in the middle of the woods where only me and my parents are,
Yeah,
yeah, no, I don't think I'm just gonna stay out front.
and your parents are sitting there, and she just watches him walk up, and she sees him from a distance and just accepts that. Which, again, it's a movie, but that's not realistic at all for a child.
If anything, she would shout.
Also, I know it's natural to run, but if we're at the beach and a tsunami hits, like, we might
I'm
as well
going
just sit there and eat it.
if okay, people like my I don't know if it's just like us being stupid, but like if a tsunami is coming and I'm on the beach and it's just starting to rise, I'm gonna swim through it.
You can't swim through that. It's 40 stories high.
High, not wide.
It's a,
Thick.
no, no. It's as wide as New Jersey. It is as wide as California. There is no running to the end of it. It's
There's no going through it.
there's You can't swim through a rip current in the ocean. People drown in pools. You think, come on, bro. Stop it.
I mean, like,
No. Look, you think you're going to swim through this? You think you're going to get through that? Look at the rock in comparison to the size of the people. Look at how high that is.
okay.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do. Now, mind you, they shouldn't have had their phones out watching it come from a mile offshore. If you're going to start running, give yourself the 2 minutes to run. Don't wait until there's a 40-story wave upon you.
Yeah.
The
No.
the so just to not to tell you things, because this is outside of spectrum of reviewing something. Water is the most powerful thing on the planet. The Grand Canyon has been carved by water. When you reroute water, it will shave down a mountain. It will take over a town. Like, it'll just, water is everything. Be like water, my friend. When water freezes and is ice, it takes down the Titanic. You see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
water is completely destructive. So there's no swimming through this. You couldn't even be on a boat. You couldn't be in a submarine and take that. It would toss the submarine around like a little toy if your submarine was just sitting there on the dock of the bay waiting. The pressure of that, it's just, no, there's no surviving. But again, if you're gonna start running when it's a mile off. Stop filming everything with your phone.
Yeah, like all the movies with tsunamis in it, everyone's just like when you see it from so far away and you're in the city, right? And then like you have it's really short time. You have like what, 20 minutes till it comes?
Yeah, and that's if you have alert warning.
Yeah.
and you're
If
there.
like the
waiting
rich
for it.
people, the rich people that we see, I'm getting on a helicopter and I'm up and out.
So the only way you can survive this is there is basically it's a ball that fits 2 people that you buy, like an earthquake ball.
Yeah.
And you get in it and but you're in a harness and it's a sphere, so you can spin around and around and around and around.
But you don't do you flip or does the ball flip and you stay still?
You flip, everything flips. And even then, it might take you 30 miles inland or wash you back out to the ocean. I mean,
Yeah,
there's no survival.
yeah.
So you get the choice. You get the gist. So if you don't choose, the apocalypse happens. And every time
Like time by time.
and each
Yeah.
of the four horsemen, you get one chance with each one, and a plague would happen, and another plague would happen, another plague would happen, and then you have a chance to stop it. Personally, let's just talk about it, Leah. Me, you, and your mom. Who we taking out? You have to speak. We can't just sit here. I'm asking you a
sorry.
question.
I don't know.
You have to make a choice. See, this is the dilemma. Make a choice. Me, you, your mom.
Who? Okay. I don't know. It would be you or my mom. It wouldn't be me.
Okay, it wouldn't be you. So, in this instance, I don't know. Let's just play the rules as in us three could decide who it was, right? And in that movie, those two dads adopted the baby, the girl.
Yeah.
She's under 10. It's the kid. She's dead.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Done.
We can go adopt another child. Like I'm sorry, kid. Like if somebody's got to be sacrificed, we're sacrificing you. End of
Yeah.
story. Now, once she's over 10, actually, never mind. If she's adopted, I'm killing her at 10, 20, 30, baby, infant. It doesn't matter. She's adopted. She's out.
Damn.
If she was my own blood, you've got to be over 10 for you to survive. Like you're 15 now, I'll let you live because I'm 40. I've lived enough of a life.
Yeah.
I can go. But if you were like 8, I'm like, come on, we can make another baby. I'd be like, sure, let's make another
She's
baby.
not too far in.
No, exactly. And I would let you keep your mother because she's nicer to me. And
If anything, I would just like think about who would live longer anyway.
yeah, well that's the other thing too. Like, you know,
Yeah.
but as the man and the protector of the house and all that kind of stuff,
it
I
would
would
decipher. I don't know. I would have to like be in the moment to actually choose.
man, you let them apocalypses. You can't choose. I asked you a question. You staring in the camera like
No,
you don't know
I
what
was
to
literally
do.
talking about this earlier today. I was just like, if an apocalypse were to happen, like I asked my mom because we were in the car. I was just like, if an apocalypse happened, do you think you survive? She's like,
Oh, she's not going to survive. You should have asked her about the movie. You
I
should have
know.
said if there were one of the three of us.
I know, but like she said, she would just stay at home and then probably,
She'd die in the house.
yeah.
She's not going to make it out there.
I don't know. If an apocalypse were to happen, I'm automatically killing myself, honestly. Like in this situation, probably not because this situation is different, but I mean like an actual apocalypse. Like
So yeah, I'm
I'm not
not
living with that.
I'm not. I'm living as long as I can, and I'm taking out as many people as possible along
Nope.
the way. So you know, you just better hope you're with me and not with your mom when it all goes down.
I'm ending it all.
Yeah,
I'm not living through that. That's not a way to
No.
live.
See, and here's the thing: you can't even answer a question. You won't be able to take your own life. The weakness in your mind. It's you've got to be so. Let's put it this way:
So
you'd have
sure
to,
about
you-
it, yeah.
Not so sure. You'd have to go through the hell of the apocalypse to be like, I don't want to live like this anymore. You're not going to go, oh, the world is ending. Boom, I'm out. Like you're not going to do it. You're going to try to survive. You know, you're going to try to live, and then something bad's either going to happen, and you're like, I don't want to do this anymore, or somebody's going to take you out because you're being soft.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know. I'm gonna live. I got to go bag. My go bag is packed and ready to go. I'm a rock. So if you with me, we good to go. If you with your mom, I might try and look for you, but
If I'm with my mom, you're going to find us both dead.
well,
You're going to find us dead in the kitchen.
yep. You know, I ran out of snacks. So, but the movie was good. It was a good movie. It wasn't great. There was no spoiler alert. There's actually no twist. It's very straightforward.
Everything that they say is going to happen happens.
yeah,
And then,
well-
like, as soon as it's over, you're like, okay, that's it.
Yeah, and that's strange for an M. Night Shyamalan movie because again, I always prepare him. I always go see his movies. He's a PA guy. It's always in Philadelphia. He's always in the movie. He was in the little TV commercial spot. I know you don't know who he is, but I'll show you who he is. But he's always in all of his movies, and you know, I just support whatever. But I'm used to being let down or like, oh my gosh, that was crazy, and this
Yeah.
was like, oh,
It's just like, okay.
okay, this is a regular, straightforward movie about the Four Horsemen, and that's cool.
And it happened.
And it did.
And that was it.
Yeah, but it was a good movie. If you haven't watched it, go see it. If you have a family, leave
Think
me a
about it.
comment. Would you take yourself out? Would you take the kid out? would you take your spouse out? And if you have multiple kids, do
Which
everybody
kid?
just take out
No.
the kid that they don't like?
Exactly. That's so unfortunate.
That would be better
Every
if you
single
had 4
parent's-
kids and everybody's like, it's Jimmy. We take Jimmy.
Right. Everyone's just like, yeah, I'm not messing with him anymore. Yeah, no.
Yeah. And again,
That's when you feel like you have to start being like a good sibling, because when you're like the sibling that's just like up everyone's butt, like
Yeah,
you start looking around like,
So
yo.
you're an only child, so your plan is to be nice in case of an apocalypse. Nobody wants to kill you.
Yes, of course.
Okay. So it's funny too, because like when I say these things, people always freak out at me and think, oh, you're crazy. You wouldn't do that. I was like, I understand like babies are babies and we love babies, but babies are new. Like I said, if you're
They have
if
nothing.
you're under 10, you haven't developed anything. I can make a new one of you tomorrow. Like,
Yeah.
you know-
That's not you creating yourself, that's you being created.
yeah, exactly. I can copy
You can
paste.
mold anyone
Yeah,
into
yeah,
an 8-year-old.
yeah.
You
You
can
know-
mold anyone into a 4-year-old. Every 4-year-old is individual, but you need to realize that
Yeah,
they're not so individual.
They're not. And like I said, once you get past 10, then I start looking you as like a person, human being, adult.
I do that when they get to 8.
8, okay.
8's my thing.
I mean, she did
Like,
seem very intelligent, even though she was dumb to just be speaking to him like that.
Yeah,
But
but, like,
she did know things.
yeah,
And yeah,
I say 8.
okay. See, that means I'm a good parent. You're doing better than me. You've lowered the
Look at
bar
that.
to 8. But we've had this conversation so many times. I remember when I was talking to my dad, and same kind of thing came up. We're watching a movie, and he said, "You're being chased by Freddy Krueger. Me and you are running." He's like, "If you fall and I'm ahead of you, even if I know I'm gonna die coming back to help you," he's like, "I'll come back to help you because you're my son." And I was like 10 or 12 at the time. He's like, "But if I go down, don't come back to help me. I'm 45 years old. I didn't live my life. Don't come back for me.
Yeah.
Go and try to survive." You know what I mean? Like, don't come back for me. My job is to stay and fight him off and hold up and give you as much time as possible.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like, he said the exact opposite. He's like, now if you were like 5 or 6 and we're on the side of a cliff and I'm holding on to you, and if I don't let you go, we're both going down, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna just have to make another one. Like, you're only 5. You know what I
True.
mean? You don't know nothing. And it was so funny to me because I'm like, damn, Dad. Like, you're just going. He's like, no, I just told you.
No,
He's
everyone.
like, once there's a
yeah.
certain time, I'd fight for you, and I don't want you to sacrifice your life to come back for me, because now you're 10, 12. You got your own life ahead of you.
Yeah.
Go and be and become something. He's like, but when you're little, like, little kids don't be doing nothing. They ain't useful. And I'm like, he's like, what are you gonna do? How are you gonna survive without me anyway? You're 5. Like, if I don't die, then we're both dead. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He's like, if you're 10, 12, 15,
You can start
he's like,
figuring
you
it
can
out on
start
yourself.
getting, yes,
Yeah.
you can get by on your own at that point. And I was like, that makes a lot of sense. And luckily for you, we haven't been put in this situation. So you made it. You're here now.
Yep,
So
I've made it to the age.
I got to sacrifice myself for you at all corners and costs. So we'll see.
We'll see how it goes.
How that goes. But yeah, I love you, Leah. Now that you're over 10 years old, I love you so much.
Love you too.
You're a fully grown adult. Don't come back for me. For real, leave me. Let me die.
Oh, of course.
don't come back for
Don't
me.
worry, it won't be a second thought.
You better not. You know what? Look at me. You better not have a second thought.
Not for real. Like, I'm like, oh, I'll do anything for my friends. Like, I don't think there's one person I would save instead of myself.
over yourself. Yeah.
And like in class, you know how like teachers randomly put up random discussions, like who would
Yeah.
you save? I was like, the only person I would want to save is my parents.
So what did the teacher ask you? Like, what are you afraid of?
Yeah.
Because we should do a show just about that, like the intricate questions of life and what would you do? Because the teacher asked, like, what are you afraid of? And everybody's like, what are the dumb things people said? Being buried
Heights.
alive, heights, and all that kind of stuff. And what was your answer?
Being what is it?
Branded.
Branded, yeah, being branded.
And everybody's like, that's such a ridiculous thing. Nobody would
like-
brand you. Like, first of all, gangs. There's gangs everywhere. You get jumped into a
We
gang.
just watched Banshee and there was a bunch of like Nazis, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Yeah, branding.
I don't want that.
Yeah. I watch Yellowstone. They be doing branding out there. Them cowboys be branded. Like, I don't want a hot rod of metal being stamped upon
I'm
me.
saying you asked me my biggest fear, And that is my biggest fear.
Yeah.
I went home and I told my mom because I was just like, oh, my drawing was actually pretty good. But I showed my mom and she's just like, that's like unrealistic though. I was just like, you don't know where she
Branding
works.
is a
but
real
like,
thing.
She lives in an area
With gangs.
where gangs are.
Yeah, and not only that, like just being in college, being in fraternities, certain fraternities,
They do weird
they
stuff.
They
Yeah.
do metal branding and stuff like that for their logo and things. So branding is a real thing to be afraid of. You asked me what I was afraid of, and I couldn't think of anything because I'm not really like afraid of anything. Like,
And it's not a thing to think about. Like, what am I scared of?
And my true answer is I'm scared of the dentist, and I'm scared of water, like drowning.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And
I'm not so scared of drowning, just because I've almost drowned like twice.
and
And it's already happened, and I'm just like, in the moment, you keep fighting, but like, if you give up, you give up.
And so a lot of people aren't going to watch this because our numbers aren't up there yet, Leah.
Yeah,
Sorry
it's a
to
little
say.
far back. It's okay.
We're trying. We're building. We're doing our thing. But, I told you about my story with my sister and drowning. Like, that's when I tell people, like, I'm not joking. Like, people think it's like they don't know what they would do, and you would never do that. I'll tell you the story because if you're here, you deserve a treat. Thank you for watching.
Yes.
Hit the subscribe button, like, share, whatever. But this is a true story. I was 19 years old. I was with my girlfriend in North Carolina. We took my 12 or 11-year-old sister who wanted to go so bad with us to the lake. I don't swim. I'll tell you why I don't swim in another day, but I don't swim. And so my sister, who has had all the swimming lessons, knows how to swim, loves to swim. My girlfriend is like from Montana. Apparently they swim and wrestle bears, so no problem. And so it's one of those lakes where it's got like the dock in the center, like
Yeah,
a crystal lake kind of scary crap. I'm like, I'm not even getting in the water. So they're both like, oh, we're gonna go. So my girlfriend and my sister jump in. They're swimming out to the dock. And my girlfriend's fast. She gets to the dock quick. My sister is slower. She gets halfway there, and it's a lake. So something touched her foot, whether it be a fish or a seaweed or grass or
algae
whatever,
or
whatever it was. And she started freaking out. And I'm like, swim. And my girlfriend jumped back in, and she's paddling back to me, and she's going under, coming up, screaming for me. And I'm just yelling at the dock, swim. Like I was not getting in the water, swim. And by the time she got to the dock and I'm starting to pull her out, my girlfriend gets to her and like pushes her up. And so, she's on the side, gasping, choking, all that kind of stuff. And we were there literally for like 20 minutes, had to turn right back around. I took her home, and she went in there crying to my dad, like freaking out. Like, she's like, Buzz wouldn't get in the water. Buzz was letting me drown. And my dad looked at me. He's like, you didn't get in that water? And I said, I told her, like I told you before we took her, I'm not getting in that lake. I'm not swimming in that lake. And guess what? If you would have lost one kid today, that would have been enough. Ain't no sense in you losing 2 children today at that lake.
Yeah.
He just looked at me like, yeah. I like, Dad, I'm telling you.
I'm not going in that lake.
I'm not going. And I told him all before we went there. I told him. And sure enough, my sister would have drowned that day if she didn't. She saved herself. Because again, she could swim, but you panic. Sometimes people panic when freaky things happen. But she panicked. And I was like, yo, I'm not doing it. So just so you know, if you with me, you better learn how to swim.
I learned how to swim. It wasn't even a drowning problem for me. Like one time I was in the lake, you know how it is. Like, you just get tired of treading water. And my uncle came out. He was just like, okay, come on.
Yeah.
I just couldn't breathe. I just started swimming on my back and I was chill, but I was still out of breath.
But since I don't swim, I made sure you learned how to swim. You were swimming early. We had you in that joint early. Because again, if something happens, Leah, you go.
Do you know those lily pads?
Yeah.
That the rope is tied to the bottom and like everyone's standing above it. You know how people fall in, whatever, you get out. Well, I was under it. I fell under and I was like younger and I had my goggles on. So I was like looking up. I was like, yo, all these lily pads are above me. Like I can't get up. And every single time I tried to go a certain way, obviously they keep moving because the rope.
Yeah.
So every single which way I tried to get up, either a kid was falling down and I couldn't get out that way or the lily pad was on top of me. And I was under there for like more than a minute.
That was on your mom's watch.
That was on my mom's watch.
You done lost your life a few times. Almost lost your life a few times on your mom's watch, boy. Your mom, boy, she put you in danger.
Yeah, I was gasping. I couldn't breathe. Like, it was bad.
Well, we here now, Leah. We made it.
We made it.
another episode of O Doctor Reacts with my daughter Leah. Like I said, like, share, subscribe, do something, leave a comment if you made it this far. We appreciate you so much. Put on that notification bell. Apparently, when you say these things, people do these things. And
So do it.
That
It's
do
Black
it.
History Month.
Black History Month. Do it. All right, we out.
Bye.